Well, it really was one of the great races in recent memory. Missouri State won its first ever regular season title on the last day of the year in a game that was on ESPN with a terrific atmosphere at JQH Arena. Showdown with the team they were tied with going into the day, Wichita State, and I think it really did mark a moment for Missouri State that was pretty special, coming off of a couple of disappointing years when they did not get into the NCAA tournament, as they did not this year, but to win that title in that new arena was pretty special for that crowd. It was. You got to give Greg Lansing a lot of credit. An associate head coach at Indiana State when Kevin McKenna left. He took over that team that was picked 7th in our league in the preseason. I think they finished 6th in 2010, and with Jake Odom kind of powering that team, they finished third seed, and they beat the top 2 seeds, Wichita State in the semis, Missouri State in the final, and went on to play Syracuse and Cleveland. And I think that's a sign that program is one to take notice of over the next couple of years at Indiana State. Well, I think the back-to-back titles by Tanya Warren's Panthers is symbolic of the rise of our league in women's basketball. We've gone 9 straight years with one team in the tournament. Northern Iowa was a high seed, the top seed, 17-1 in the regular season. Importantly, won on a neutral floor. We haven't had our top seeds advancing in the State Farm MVC Women's Tournament out at the Family Arena. And this was, I think, a moment that shows that our best teams can compete. They almost beat Michigan State. It came down to the last minute. So I think when you look at our league this year in men's and women's basketball, Illinois State, of course, goes to the WNIT semifinals. They beat Arkansas and Wisconsin on the way to a showdown at Redbird Arena with USC. I think the postseason really does give us some hope for next year. I think we'll be better. Without question, Wichita State's run to an NIT championship was the highlight of our postseason. First time since 1982 that the Valley has won the NIT, and they did it in convincing fashion. They beat a Big 12, an ACC, a Pac-10, and an SEC team on the way to that tournament title. So Greg Marshall's program is certainly where it needs to be. And as you look ahead to next year, I think we're going to be much stronger across the board. I do. I think we made a decision at the spring meetings in 2010 to investigate and to purchase instant replay technology, and we installed it. We began the installation fairly late. It was around Thanksgiving that we really started to install it in all of our arenas. We did have it in use in 14 arenas, including the 2 tournament sites here in the St. Louis metro area. And I think for the most part, schools have proven that they can manage it, they can run it efficiently. It is a good tool for the officials, and we did have some kinks. It wasn't perfect. There was some frustration, but I think we're going to have enough lead time this summer and early fall to train our operators, to let our schools know they have to own this technology, they've paid for it. And I really believe that this is going to be a tool that's going to carry us a long way towards improving our men's and women's basketball officiating, not only reviewing game sequences, but certainly using sequences, action from the games to evaluate and to train officials. I think the migration of our coaches out of our league has always been a problem, and I think we're hiring good coaches. Gino Ford comes on at Bradley, a guy that came from Kent State, where he was the Mid-American Conference Coach of the Year 2 out of 3 seasons there. Paul Lusk, associate head coach at Purdue, takes over at Missouri State. And on the men's side, I think that is critical for our administrators to continue to hire rising coaches, and I think we've done that. I think all in all, I think that a focus on scheduling strategy is important, and I think we're going to return to an era that we knew 10 years ago, where we need to lace up our shoestrings and get after it and play some good quality teams and be more cognizant of the overall RPI of opponents that we're playing. And I think that's key. I think we need to play more peer conference teams. Maybe not the high major teams where we go on the road for guarantee games. I think that's a mistake. But I do think that our head coaches and our administrators came out of our spring meetings, as did our presidents, with an understanding that we would have a renewed focus on scheduling strategy. And I think that's going to be very important as we move forward.